Well, folks, I want to welcome you to our 2016 update of our medical kit here at the channel. At the beginning of every year, I like to show you what I have done, what I've added, what I've taken out, what I've maybe tweaked in my medical kit. Because regardless if it's at your house, you know, in your own backyard, or out here in the great outdoors enjoying an awesome hike, we all need to have a very good, solid medical kit and know what we can do with it, and having used and tested all the products that we have in the medical kit. So that's what I want to do for you today. I've added a lot. We have several new items over last year's medical kit update. And so I want to be able to walk you guys all through what we have to offer and what's been updated. And to get us started, I want to talk about the bag real briefly because we're going to be talking about the contents for the most part, but you got to have a good bag if you're going to be, building a medical kit. And your medical kit in this particular design that we're talking about not only needs to be compact and portable, but also well organized so you can get to what you need without having to fumble around and losing things and having them fall all over the place, particularly if you're by yourself and you're the only one that's going to be able to work on yourself in a medical situation and you've been injured. So the Vanquest FAT Pack is what I've been rocking for about 2 years now. This is, I believe they're 5x8 if I remember the dimensions. I'll connotate it in if I mixed up the dimensions, but I believe this is their 5x8 size, and this has really worked well for me in the capacity of being basically a two-man medical kit. And as you're about to see today, not only does it have a lot of features for a lot of attachments, but it also organizes the heck out of the products we're about to look at and the items that I would recommend to you. So Tommy and I are going to go ahead and hop back inside and get out of the cold, tear this thing apart for you and show you what we've updated in this medical kit. So there are 3 things that you are able to access on the outside of the pack, and these 3 things are really the most important to really get into the medical kit and get going in a medical situation. In this front pouch, I have vinyl gloves that are powder free. These I've found are the best for medical situations. With these loops and this nice Velcro tab that you can attach through, you can get safety scissors nicely fit and nice and snug on this side that give you great access to them. All you have to do is un-Velcro this little loop right here, pull them out, you're good to go, so that you can begin to either cut bandages or cut clothing to assess how bad a situation is, how bad a wound is, very quick and very accessibly. On the other side here, again, these loops just work great, is a tourniquet. Tourniquets are very important, and depending on how bad the situation is, that is the first thing you might want to do, is get your tourniquet out and apply the pressure that you need to get the blood stopped and the flow of blood stopped, so that you can begin to close up that wound and begin to either take care of the person there or transport them to a medical facility to really take care of a horrible gash that could easily, possibly end their life. Slides nice and easy out. This right here is the one, guys, that I would prefer. This is the CAT tourniquet. It's combat application tourniquet. There are basically 3 different styles out there. I've used and tested all 3, and this is the one that I feel works the best and is the most comfortable for me to use. There are the 2 other ones, the SWAT one, and then I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. I will put it in. Not that either one of those are bad and have their uses. I just find that this is the most useful and the one that's recommended by most EMT and military units. So that's what I would recommend. It is the most expensive, right around 25 to 30 bucks, but I found that it works the best, and applying it to myself have found that I'm the most comfortable with this style tourniquet. One last thing with tourniquets as well, get trained on these, know what you're doing, know where to apply them. These are extremely important tools in your medical kit that could absolutely save a life, but many people aren't quite sure on how to use them, where to apply them, and they can also be a little dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So take the proper training, learn how to use these, but they are vital, I believe, to every serious medical kit. Now this is the next part that just really sells this whole medical kit to me. Not only do I have the front pouch for the gloves, these 2 sleeves on either side for 2 main important parts of your medical kit, but the easy deployment of opening the rest of the kit and the ability to do it without having your stuff go flying all over the place is awesome. So that's why, again, I love these fat packs. They have many different sizes, many different designs. All the links in the description below for as much of this stuff as I can, so you guys can go check it out over on Amazon, because I really have been using this for quite a while and been very, very happy on multiple usages. And having to bust this out and having to bust out my medical kit, this just seems to work so well, and I love the fact that stuff doesn't go flying and it's so organized. Okay, on our front panel here, we have a couple very important items. I have New Skin. This is a liquid bandage that works for small to light cuts. It works great. It basically forms a secondary layer, you know, in areas maybe that a Band-Aid would easily pop off, or you're just having a problem keeping the blood from stopping, but it's not a major wound. This stuff works great. Used it a lot, and just is fantastic to have on you. Then what I did was I purchased iodine. Now this isn't the yellowed version. This is the one that they took the yellow dye out, I guess, but this is iodine. Picked up the regular bottle for like $1.50. Then I put it in this small squeeze bottle with one of those little pop top, so I can easily flush out a wound and, you know, squeeze it into where I need to. And just really, iodine, though it hurts like a mother when you squirt it on, is one of the best, or the best disinfectant and way to kill, you know, the bacteria and the germs in a wound. This stuff is awesome. Then I have two smaller 2-inch by, I believe, 3-yard bandages, if I remember correctly, 2 of those, and then an Ace bandage that I've crushed so that it is able to fit in there, so it still has a little cardboard loop, but I have a 2-inch Ace bandage as well. So not only could I put a lot of pressure on a wound and, you know, wrap it up, do what I need to with that, but then again, either with sprains or other items, or just having to put extra pressure, I can use this Ace bandage, and these are one of the ones that stick to each other very well, so that even though I have safety pins that we'll see in a moment, I wouldn't even really need it. I could easily just tuck it in, and it's going to give me a lot of help with lots of different injuries, not only cuts and gashes, but sprains and broken arms, and doing that type of stuff with splints and all sorts of different things. So that's what I have here on the front panel. Now on this wing, I have a few different items, not only on the front, but also in the little pocket. The first is eye drops. You can get them anywhere. You know, just a good, you know, saline solution just to clean out your eyes. You know, you may get a little metal sliver, wood chips, just gunk in your eye, and, you know, if your eye is giving you problems, that can incapacitate you and your whole body. So always good to have a really compact setup of eye drops. Painkillers are always super important. AM, PM. WoundSeal. This stuff is phenomenal. Now, I have seen this for a while. I thought it was a little bit gimmicky. I was like, I don't know if that's really, you know, worth purchasing. And then recently we were out on a hike. A buddy of mine missed a chop with his bigger blade, nicked him himself, and, you know, really got some blood flowing. Now, it wasn't bad to the point where we needed the tourniquet, but it was definitely bad, and he later needed some stitches. But to get that blood to stop flowing, he had one of these in his kit. We busted it out. We poured it into the wound, and I mean, according to what he said, I mean, it felt like a hot iron getting put into that wound. So be prepared for pain when you're putting this in there. But it sealed about a quarter, like a coin, like the size of a coin quarter, wide and deep gash in his leg, sealed it up, stopped the bleeding within 30 seconds. It was done, no more blood, and we were able to apply the pressure that we needed with the bandages and move on. So you can get these in all sorts of different packets, but yeah, it's just this little tiny pouch right here. You tear it open, it's like, looks like, what's it called? Like red sand, kind of. You pour it into the wound after you've dried the wound out, let some blood start flowing, and then you pour it in that blood, and it'll clot it up real quick. There are little instructions in this watertight container, as well as in the packaging, and the little pouches themselves are watertight, which is great. So this stuff is awesome, works great, would recommend it, but be prepared for pain if you ever apply this to a wound. Moving right along, on the other wing here, I just have one item, antibiotic cream. Not a lot to say about that, just get a compact size, whatever brand will do. Now as we move to the center here, I have some waterproof adhesive tape. This is 5 yards of it. I'm using a Night Eyes gear tie. These things are awesome. Just kind of keep it there. That was the one thing when I would tear this open, I would kind of have it stuck somewhere and it'd always pop out and seem to fall. So this was just a quick, easy fix. I love these. You can get them all different sizes. Fantastic. This is a SAM splint. Now this is basically a piece of foam covering a very thin piece of aluminum. And just kind of give you some idea here. They come in many different sizes. This happens to be the 18-inch model. This is just little diagrams on how to use it. You can see here, it's basically a moldable splint. You can use it in all sorts of different capacities, and it's able to be cut if you need to with your safety scissors, can easily cut through it. But basically, it's totally moldable, as you can see here, all over the place, do whatever I need to, bend it any which way I want. But then what's awesome is if you then begin to cup it in the middle, it becomes extremely rigid. There you go, very, very rigid. You can see here it's not wanting to flex or bend. I'm putting tons of pressure on that, and now you have a great emergency splint. Awesome. You can get them all kinds of different sizes. We have a pinky or finger splint here that we'll show you in just a second. This is the 18-inch version. That's really what can fit in here respectively. They do have a 36-inch version, so what I would actually recommend doing, because they basically cost the same, buy the 36-inch version, take your scissors, cut it straight down the middle, and then just kind of fold over that little edge that you cut, and then you have 2 splints, and you can put them in 2 different packs or do whatever you want with them. So that's what I would recommend, but these things are awesome, and I would highly recommend them. As we cruise along here, we have an ABD pad. This is an extra absorbent 5-inch by 9-inch pad. This works great, speaking back to that injury that I was talking to you about with the WoundSeal. This was great. We cut it in half, applied it twice, wrapped it really tight with an ace bandage, and absorbed all of the extra blood that may have wanted to come out, and just helped put pressure on the wound once the WoundSeal took effect and clogged up that wound. So these things are awesome. You can get them in large, giant packages. Again, as many links as I can, I will have in the description below to Amazon, so you can check that out. This just contains 1 pad. Again, that would cover a big, huge wound, or you could cut it in half with your scissors and apply twice. And finally, behind here, we have a JOTO cell phone or smartphone waterproof case. Inside here are all of the smaller band-aids, bandages, safety pins, burn cream, itch cream, and I'll just kind of dump through these real quick for you. But I do this because it's lightweight. These are super inexpensive. They're under $10, and they're large enough to be able to hold a lot of different medical supplies. All right, so now after dumping all that out, just walk you through this here real quick. We'll start here with the little safety knife. These things are awesome. You can usually get a 3-pack of them for like about $5, $5 to $10. It's basically a razor blade with a little tiny plastic molded handle. Works great as a little safety knife to either cut open and work as basically a scalpel if you needed it to be, or if you lost your scissors or your scissors aren't cutting it for what you need, this thing's a great little extra feature, super compact. Then over here I got benzene tincture, I think is how I'm pronouncing it. I'm probably jacking that all up, but that's okay. Basically, these are things that they help with bee stings and insect bites. 2 more larger padded bandages in here. We got these sterile pads, 2x2 and 3x3. I got one of those each to help with sopping up of blood and wounds and injuries, along with that other larger pad that we looked at a moment ago. Antihistamines, great. 2 packs of first aid burn cream, 2 packs of anti-itching cream. Pick these guys up, I think at Walmart or King Soopers, 2 sets of tweezers, work great. Here's our Sam Splint. This is a finger size. It would help with a finger injury, a broken finger, something like that. You just kick that up like that, wrap our medical tape that we've looked at earlier around it, and now I can't bend this finger. We got our 2 large safety pins to help with wrapping either that ace bandage or other bandages that I may need, so those are always important to have. And then finally, just 3 types of band-aids. I got just the normal cloth band-aids. I got about 6 of those, then I got some waterproof ones, and then I got some large, like 1x2-inch pads for larger scrapes, bumps, and light cuts. Well, folks, there you have it. I really hope that this video has shown you just a lot of different products that you can begin to look into, and you need to figure out for yourself whether or not these are the right items for you. As always, I love to hear your guys' thoughts, and I love to hear your guys' comments. If there are certain items that you would recommend or better items that I have in here that you would recommend on top of this, always love to hear your guys' thoughts on the medical kit arena, as well as all the time and all of the thoughts that you guys may have. And ultimately, I just hope that this video has helped you get a little bit more equipped and a little bit more prepared. So, as always, thank you so much for checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. And as always, guys, remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.